This anime is not made for normal people. By Cheung Bros talking about the Eminence in Shadow. Let's see what they got to say.
The idea of having a person transported from one world to another, known commonly as isekai, is a widely oversaturated genre in the realm of anime.
I hear that it's not necessarily transported from one world to another. Like it's just reincarnation, right? I'm not sure what the exact definition of what isekai is, but I had this like idea too that you have to be resurrected or like transported into a different world, but it's like, no, you can be resurrected in your own world too again, and somehow it's isekai. Like for example, Anno's Voldigoat, Misfit of Demon King Academy. Does that count? Some people are saying, no, bro, that counts as isekai. I'm like, I don't really know.
Commonly as isekai is a widely oversaturated genre in the realm of...
Yeah, the another world, but does another world in this context imply that, you know, 2,000 years ago, that's technically another world, different time period. It's like, I don't know how that shit works.
Anime. Ever since it was popularized in the 2010s, we've seen a surplus of isekai anime being pumped out, with only a handful of them actually being memorable, and the rest getting worse as time goes on.
This is some kind of joke!
Originally, isekai was just a tag.
What a fucking disappointment, bro. This anime was so good. Isekai Oji-san was so fucking good. Uncle from Another World, but they butchered the hype with their shitty ass fucking schedule. Like at a certain point, when it got to like episode 5, another episode would come out in like a matter of 2 to 3 months. This anime, this is a seasonal anime that spanned across like 3 separate fucking seasons, dude. Insane.
Like male protagonist or NTR, but the concept got copied.
Best tag.
And pasted so many times that it became an entire genre of anime, with the library spanning to hundreds of shows. At the beginning, isekai anime were welcomed with open arms, as shows with the idea were far and few in between.
What was one of the first isekais ever? Because I think a lot of people's first isekai is like, what is it? ReZero, right? Because that's back in like, what, 2016? I think that's when isekai was really popping off. Like, I was hearing about it, but I was like, what the fuck is this shit? But in the beginning, was it really that well received? Because immediately when I heard of ReZero, people were talking shit about, oh my god, another isekai. It's so generic. There's so many of this shit. Sword Art Online 2012? That's also isekai? Transported, but isn't it reincarnated as a different world? Does Sword Art Online count as isekai? You're not getting reincarnated, right? I thought this is like you're playing video games. Is Bofuri an isekai? It's a video game. It's a different world, but I don't know what constitutes towards an isekai.
But as the idea was rinsed and repeated, people started getting sick of watching essentially the same show over and over.
One more time for the fans. Best character, Truck-kun, appears in every anime ever.
Watching essentially the same show.
Oh, that's a Konosuba scene. Right, this is the Konosuba episode 1 scene where Kazuna's like trying to be a self-insert hero, tries to save this girl from a tractor, but like from a car, but it was a fucking tractor, and the tractor was moving so slow to the point where Kazuma died from like shock, and then Aqua laughs at him, saying, "You motherfucker, you really just died from surprising yourself when she wasn't even in danger."
Oh, over and over.
Ooh, Truck-kun, girls in isekai. This is Megumin, reincarnates the slime, Shiro, this is Overlord stuff, Raftalia, I think, and this is ReZero, right? Oh, we're gonna get into Overlord and ReZero pretty soon, guys. We gonna get in.
Isekai has now become a meme throughout the anime community, and you honestly might even
wait, what is this? Boys and isekai. Is this just like every isekai character, same hairstyle, I guess? That's kind of what he's saying.
And you honestly might even get bullied for liking it these days. With how long it's been around and the amount of shows that's been produced, isekai has been refined down to the point where there's now a clear line between good and bad isekai anime.
Okay, let's see. See, look at this. Misfit of Demon King Academy. They consider it an isekai. So, it's about being reincarnation. Wait, bad isekai? The fuck? This dude really put Misfit of Demon King Academy in bad isekai. Do you guys think it's bad isekai? I thought the show was pretty good. Am I crazy? Well, then again, maybe I'm in an echo chamber where you guys actually do enjoy reincarnated the Misfit of Demon King Academy. So I don't really know if this is like, how does this work? Because you guys are obviously going to love Misfit of Demon King Academy because y'all are obviously watching my content on it. But there might be a bigger audience that fucking hates this show and considers it trash, right? No, it's good, but people just gloss over it? I don't know, but again, like, does this count as isekai? And if you define isekai just as reincarnated into another world, then I guess it counts because 2,000 years ago, it's a different world than now. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't recognize these other ones too. I think this is like a smartphone and isekai, but over here, these are some peaks, right? Oh, this is Tanya. This is another anime that's been recommended that we might watch in this channel.
And the Eminence in Shadow dances on that line like a 12-year-old in Fortnite. The show knows the isekai genre is oversaturated, but couldn't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks and does what.
You heard that? Did you hear that scream? In the most recent Eminence in Shadow episode. Remember Getan and Yukime's like flashback? Before it fades out, what do we hear? We heard this exact same scream from Stylish Bandit. Look.
Rat's ass what anybody
That scream? I recognize that, bro. That shit sounds like Freed from the High School DxD.
thinks and does whatever it wants, which ironically makes it kinda good.
Sid is your average high schooler just cruising by in life, or at least that's
Main character
what
spot.
he wants you to think. In reality, he's this chunibyo that's obsessed with power and being the most badass person in the room, all while being low-key about it, cause that's cool as fuck. And he'll do just about anything to maintain his status as background character A. Forget his classmates' names, tank his own grades, just look like a
What was her name? Nishina? Or was it Nishimura? Like, people keep saying that she's kind of important for the future, so I'll have my anticipations up for that, man.
fool in general. But that's during the daytime when his mask is on. During the night, his true self takes
Batman! Isekai Batman.
over and
Nishino. Oh, fuck. My bad. I fucked up her name, too. My bad. Nishino Akane. Nishimura? Which one is it? I don't know. I'm sure. Okay. Does she come back in the light novel? Because, like, I know Sherry Barnett is not back in the light novel yet. But is Nishino back in the light novel yet?
things start to get a little weird because that's when his mask is. Just from his
Yo, they need to bring back the crowbar back, man. They need to bring the crowbar back. I love the disrespect that he puts on people with the crowbar, but it's not even that. It's like he knows so much details about fighting with the crowbar. It's like, what the fuck are these random ass fans?
entrance alone, you can tell this guy is not normal. He just reeks of mental instability. But I'm pretty sure all the guys out there can agree, this guy's kind of cool.
Yes.
However, his coolness is merely the result of all the time and hard work he's put into
Let's look at this. Grip strength. Grip strength, guys. Every day.
honing his craft of badassery. And he's not so far gone into his own world to ignore the limitations of the one he's living in. He knows that
Magic.
no matter how much you dedicate yourself to learn
He needs magic, right? No matter how much you do this shit, you can't overcome a nuclear weapon. So what does he do? He smashes it against a boulder, runs in front of a truck, and prays that he can get transported into a magical world.
badass things, there's limits to the physical human body. What martial art could avoid having a cat popped in your ass? The Joestar family secret? What if one day an atomic bomb was dropped on Japan for the third time in its history? What martial art could stop this impending doom? There is none. So you know what they say in
Only way to compete against a nuke is to have your own nuke and you threaten people. Again, it's like the Cold War concept. It's like an arms race. In fact, they're kind of doing that shit in Mahoka too with the Onisama's like material burst.
times like these, if you can't beat the bomb, you just have
Become
to
the
be
bomb.
the bomb.
Exactly. Atomic. He said the line!
He turns to the forbidden powers of black magic, which gives him the ability to speak a bit of English.
Wait. What is in this book? What is in this book? Okay, it's actually German. Can you read this shit though? I just would like to think that he doesn't know how to read this shit. He's just like pretending that he knows how to read this shit.
More
Power.
Fast forward to
Oh.
a training session in the woods where he's trying to fight a rock with his head. He sees a bright light and rushes to it, only to find out it's Truck-kun.
Yeah, so this was not intentional, right? Because like I think Annie News also explained, or some other channel explained in one of these videos that we're watching. It's like I think he said he was bashing his head into the boulder and then become delirious, and he thought the light was like a source of magic, so he ran out to it. So it's not like he was planning like meta commentary on like it's not like he was planning on by jumping in front of a truck, you know, breaking the fourth wall, we're gonna isekai. I don't like he has no knowledge of that. He was just simply training.
He gets isekai as a baby into a new world, messes around with slime and accidentally reverts one back into a girl, tells a couple white lies, yada yada yada, and then his sister gets kidnapped. As his family's in disarray and
Baldy.
chaos, Sid ends up being the only person that can actually save.
Okay, go back. Like at this point, when do you decide that it's time to give up? Like at what point do you decide that it's time to shave? Because like, what are you holding on to here? Truly, what are you holding on to here? This shit's not bald. This is called a cul-de-sac. Look at his fucking head. The top of his head that outlines what the hair he has. It's a fucking cul-de-sac. It's just so sad to witness these people. And some people will grow their hair out so long so that they can comb it over. Right? They'll have a shitty ass comb over. Like for example, this is getting off topic, but this is a passionate topic. Bald comb over. It's just like, what are you trying to do, bro? You see this shit? People grow their hair back from the back so much so they can try to hide this shit. And it's just like, you're just fighting a losing war. Just fucking quit. Just shave, bro. Unless, like, if this was Eminence in Shadow, this would be the same thing of like Alpha or Epsilon, right? Trying to overcome her genetics or the environment that she's in. No titties, use slime to amputate, like make them bigger. Bro, please give him a slime wig.
Family's in disarray and chaos. Sid ends up being the only person that can actually save her, and so he does what he does best.
Threw it there and realized, oh, that's where she is. Yes, that's where she is.
Bullshit his way through it.
It can't be. How did you know?
He ends
Shadow,
up
you're
finding
so
the
smart.
bad guy off of pure coincidence and cuts his ass up before he pieces out. You might be thinking that he forgot to free his sister, but nope. He leaves.
They keep doing this thing with Claire's feet. And I've noticed this too. You saw that infographic with Claire and Mary, right? Like, look at this. Eminence in Shadow. I'm not sure if I can. I'm not gonna be careful about this. But if you look at this, Claire and Mary, like, there's a picture of their feet right here. Why did they? This is official art. This is not fan art. This is like official promo art. Why do they highlight her feet so much? Did you see that in the video we're just watching? Look at this. Look at this.
Thinking that he forgot to free his sister.
Watch. Boom. Feet right there. This is not a coincidence, guys. And this might go over your head because you're too busy focusing on the minor details like the plot and what's actually going on in the show. But me, when I'm watching anime, I focus on completely different things, which is truly important. And it is the Claire feet shots. Why are they doing this? I think this is very intentional. I think they're playing into some kind of feet fetish. Usually it's done with the lollies, but right now they're doing with Claire a lot. Yandere sister feet service. I don't know, man. They do know what they're fucking doing, though.
But nope. He leaves her there on purpose because rescuing her will ruin his status as an NPC. The next day, Claire returns home and Sid's back to his old masked up self.
If you couldn't tell, Sid just makes shit up on the fly and everything ends up working out, which is the entire point of the story.
Yep.
He flips a coin and it somehow always lands on the side of truth. I'm damn near convinced that the author threw darts or rolled dice to figure out which direction the story took. It's so unbelievable.
The authors threw a dice to see where the direction of the story would go. You know what? It's probably not true, but if the author actually did that, I would imagine that'd be such a chaotic, fun story. Like, it'd be so unpredictable. I wonder if there's anyone that actually tried doing that.
Sid himself won't acknowledge that this shit is real and thinks everything is being set up by his underground organization called Shadow Garden, which he also believes are just some really nice people that are willing to role.
They're just role-playing. These girls are just role-playing for him. That's it, at the end of the day. Even though this big organization we have, the fucking HQ, the headquarters, the massive harem we have of 666 people, all the money we've gained, Mitsugoshi that's been created by Shadow Garden, this is all just a joke, just a roleplay. And the crazy shit is, most people watching Eminence in Shadow, they don't understand this concept that, like, because they see I'm a topic, they see the cool fights, and they're like, wow, cool hype anime. This is amazing. I just want to see more cool shit. But they don't, like, know the fact that Shadow doesn't know this shit's real, and that they think that everyone else is just like role playing around them. I think that it's not that important, I guess, but it is the whole point of the show. But I think this fact really goes over a lot of people's heads when they watch this show, just for like the hype scenes.
Play with him. He thinks every big event is made to follow a certain pattern, so he can end up being the cool edgelord that he's always wanted to be.
Yes.
Like that time terrorists took over his school. While everyone is in a state of shock, Sid is smiling because this is apparently every boy.
It's like a Chuni dream, right? The idea here is that this is every boy's dream. Did you guys fantasize about this shit? Like being a school hero when your school gets invaded by terrorists? I don't think I've ever fantasized about this shit, bro. Fuck that. No, I'm out, bro. I'm fucking out. But like the whole point here is Sid gets so excited, right? The terrorists come in. He's like, oh my God, it's my time to shine, or actually not to shine. The first person to die during a terrorist invasion is going to be the biggest mob character. So then Sid throws himself in front of Orion and then sacrifices himself. Yeah, you thought about it? Nah? Yeah, I don't know. This is a very specific like fantasy. I don't think I've ever had this, man.
Boy's dream. Infinite possibilities open up, and he uses this chance to not only die as an NPC, but also shine as his alter ego, Isekai Batman. He follows the simple rule of,
the more you fuck around,
find out.
The more you're gonna find out.
That's
the
right.
show knows it's trash.
Wow. That is not trash. This is a gift of God right now. This is beta, I think. Beta is so stacked too.
But that's what makes it enjoyable.
Sorry, it's not to me. This episode was so much fan service. Holy shit. Look at Alexia's face, bro. God damn.
It doesn't take itself too seriously. In fact, I would go so far to say that it's shameless the way they play up all the typical tropes of the powerful badass isekai protagonist. And that's where it gets you.
I think like, you know how he just said, Cheung Bros basically said the show doesn't take itself seriously, and it's almost shameless to the degree how far they take it. And that is intentional, absolutely. And he knows that. And what this does, again, when you have a facade of a show that doesn't take itself seriously, suddenly it's not like that cringe. For example, there's a lot of shonen shows that's always just like melodramatic and always so serious and heavy. And there are some cool moments that comes out of it, but for the most part, those kind of shows really fall flat because you're just always in this constant like state of duress. You're just stressed out. Everything's just dramatic, but you get kind of normalized to it and you got desensitized by it. But when you have a show like this, a meme anime, where it doesn't take itself seriously, it's just comedic bullshit everywhere. But then the contrast between that and the serious moments makes the serious moments shine even more. Another way of doing this is hiding the show behind comedy. And this is something that One Punch Man and I think Eminence Shadow does quite often. A comparison that I've made multiple times watching these videos is that Eminence Shadow pretty much is Isekai One Punch Man. Both characters, the main characters, Saitama and Shadow, right? They're OP characters that could end it in one go, but they don't show up immediately. Instead, they focus on the side characters while also having a lot of comedic elements. It gets you immersed into this comedic bullshit, but with really cool side characters, supporting characters with great development. Gets you immersed into the threat of the opponents who are technically jobbers, because you know Shadow or Saitama could show up, one punch them, but no. When they do show up, suddenly it's more hype because the show didn't take itself seriously, because it hides behind the mask of, let's say, like, it's just comedy. It's not taking itself seriously. I think that's a wonderful formula. Most shows, I think, they should start doing this more. The moment that you have comedy as a focal point, the more serious moments can really shine. Again, it's all at the end of the day, just a matter of contrast.
Brilliantly takes these tropes that everyone's seen before and turns it on its head with Sid's unpredictability. The anime
He did that. He really did bite into Olivia there. What the fuck? He had his vampire mode there.
similarly follows the same train of thought with its humor.
Ada!
They'll take any
Did you see that? Wait, replay that scene again. Did you see this? Ada's sleepwalking, walks into a wall.
similarly
Watch.
follows the
Watch.
same train of thought with its humor.
Look at the pillow position. How the fuck? Is she just super lucky? What is that? What are the odds?
They'll take any chance they get to insert a random joke, like Epsilon City's getting sliced off her slime bodysuit.
Need more of that, bro.
But
We
you
need more
always
of
get
that.
sucked back into the overall story, which is
In like a frame, and she makes sure nobody saw it. Nobody fucking saw it.
half serious and half not. They double down on everything, with all of it coming up as winning hands, and Sid is a
Ooh! Smacking. Excalibur.
pure reflection of this value. He performs terrible experiments on blobs of flesh, he gets a harem. He
Yeah.
confesses in the cringiest way possible,
Please go out with
he ends
me!
up getting a girlfriend. He has an irrational fear of nukes, he becomes the nuke. The man is catching random dubs for no reason, even though his mass personality is more bland than a white person's cooking. But you know what?
One more time? This is kind of replayed a lot.
The man is catching random dubs for no reason, even though his mass personality is more bland than a white person's cooking.
This is his words, not mine. I did not agree with it. I don't know if you guys agree with it, but goddamn, white people just catching strays out of fucking nowhere.
But you know what? I respect a person that commits to the bit, and no one has committed more to the bit than
Yes.
Sid himself.
200% commits to everything. Look at this shit. He won't even heal himself in this situation because he knows that a mob character would then not look as like a mob character if you heal yourself.
The man does
Oh.
whatever it takes to make his mob personality look as pathetic as possible, while at the same time, making Shadow be the envy of all Reddit users.
You know what? Like the mob personalities, they are... I don't like it as much. I understand why he does it, and that's why the first Bushin Festival, I was kind of let down because it's like, damn, you're just doing this mob fu. Like, great. Like, you're showing your 48 techniques of mob fu, but I want to see you really, like, beat everyone. I want to see, like, you pop off. Like, I know you're strong, but he can't do that because he's a mob character. So that's why I don't like it when he roleplays as a mob character. But that's where his alter egos shine, like Mundane Man, John Smith. These are alter egos that doesn't have to play the mob character. Same with Shadow. Pretty much these are all different alter egos of Sid Kageno, right? But like Shadow, we all love Shadow for who he is. But like John Smith, Mundane Man, these characters, they're not mob characters anymore. They're different concepts, a different side of Sid that he's just role playing. And now he can actually pop off. John Smith has been looking so fucking cool. The Secret Elite Agent, I love it, dude. The way he does his string attacks, it's so fancy. In the anime, it's so fucking fast.
He's not afraid to put in that dirty work of telling his friends he's gonna shit his pants or get completely dismantled in combat by the student council president.
No, he was raising her up. He was showing her his willpower, and Oriana fell for him.
And if you think that's commitment, what if I told you he moved the whole ass piano deep into the...
Everybody keeps saying this, and this is true. Bro literally moved the fucking piano down to the sewer and then had a fan so that the air would blow, so that the white feathers would lift up, and so would his cape for a dramatic entrance. And he waited until Oriana was close enough. He was waiting for the footsteps, listening to the sewers to see, is Oriana almost here? Oh, she is? Cue the fan, cue Moonlight Sonata. That's right, he did that.
The recesses of a labyrinth and sprinkled feathers everywhere, just so his speech to the student council president could be slightly more dramatic. Or how about the fact that he acted like a dog begging for money from his fake girlfriend just so he could fund.
No shame though. No shame in this. Completely commits to the bit. I hope he shows us this line of, oh, you would like bark or like you just do it for money, and he's like, yes.
His dreams. The man is dedicated to his
No, he
goal
skipped
of
it.
being... But you know what impressed us more? The subtle details.
Without even saying a word, within the first 2 minutes, the anime already hints that Sid is the main character of the show, and it comes from the sound of his bag hitting the floor. Now,
that's the crowbars I think in there.
if this was America, I'd tell you not to go to school that day. But because this is Japan, I'm inclined to think it's just something metallic and heavy and doesn't fire bullets. But I'm not sure, so let's listen to this next scene.
Crowbar. Wait, that's his shoes? Wait, I forgot. I didn't. Even his shoes are training weights? Oh, that's a detail I didn't realize. Damn. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure 3-pound shoes make that type of noise when you drop
The
them in the locker.
fuck?
And if you look carefully, you can see he has weights on his wrists, so you know he's on that Rock Lee regimen. If actions speak louder than words, then this anime is constantly screaming at the top of its lungs. The show preaches the concept.
Whenever Delta fights, she does all these just feral screams. Even like last episode, right, against John Smith. Delta screaming is... I wonder if there's like Delta ASMR, man. It'd be just like an hour long of just Delta just screaming and just making like dog noises.
Of show not tell, as small actions result in big outcomes that serve a purpose. Like in this scene where Sid is randomly keeping one of his eyes closed. You think it's because he's messing around trying to be...
Yeah, because like I was like, what is he trying to do here? Why does he have his eyes closed? But it's like the whole Chuni trope of I'm like sealing myself. The powers would be too much. Similar to how Megumin, you know, puts on in Konosuba, puts like an eye patch. It's like, nah, this is like a limiter. I'm like hiding my true powers or some shit.
Again, but he's actually doing it to collect magical energy to blow the sanctuary up. It's small things like that that keeps the audience on their toes, looking out for the next hint that foreshadows what crazy thing's gonna happen next. Except you'll never be able to guess because Sid never lets anyone know his next move. He could be fighting in a tournament and whoop his opponent's ass with an allergic reaction.
No! Goldie! Goldie getting bodied by the neck cracks and the sneeze, and then Anna Rose trying to copy it. So cute.
The show is a hit or miss for most people. You either really vibe with it and laugh at all the jokes, or you think this is one of the worst.
I think some jokes do go over my head. I try to understand the humor at times, but some jokes definitely goes over my head, or I just don't even understand what's going on.
Anime of all time. I have to admit, the anime can be very cringy at times to the point where every fiber of your being is telling you to look away, but there's something about it that just keeps...
Cringe. Has there ever been a super cringe moment where I just didn't want to look at the scenes? Maybe the confession scene to Alexia, but other than that, I don't think there's been like a mob moment where I was like cringing so much of like, oh my god, Sid, why are you doing this?
Pulling us back and keeping us excited to watch the next.
Also, you're right. Goldie's truly actually, straight up, Goldie did do the fucking Mafu technique there. Holy fuck, you're right. And he's not trying to do the Mafu technique. It's just the fact that he is a mob that he's just naturally doing it. Holy shit.
Episode. It could be the humor, the edginess, or even the plot. But one thing's for certain.
You see that? As soon as you said plot, did you see that, guys? Watch.
It could be the humor, the edginess.
And the plot, ready for it?
Or even the
plot.
But
Epsilon titties jiggles.
One thing's for certain, having Sid as a main character makes everything so much more interesting because that man's riz is crazy. His charm is infectious. His outfit goes hard. But you know what goes harder? All his English lines.
Mission complete. Power.
Lesson 2. I am atomic. Lesson 3.
Super Erito Agent.
I am the only atomic.
Oh, he said the line.
Isekai anime has brought up my brains to the point where I think this is actually a good anime, but we'll assume it hasn't and say it's a fun watch. It's cringy, edgy, over the top, trope heavy, and all around terrible. But it's also glorious.
Agreed. That's the funniest shit. Actually here, Stylish Bannister. Isn't this Oriana saying Stylish Bannister? This is like Oriana recognizing? Actually, whose voice is that? Anyways, the whole point of this one was he changed his accents. Look at this. Look at this.
Also glorious.
He says that's his Monday man voice, and then oh sorry. But then Oriana says stylish bandit slayer. So Oriana is aware that Shadow is stylish bandit slayer, right? This is confirmation, right? Oriana knows more about Shadow than most people. Huh. When will it be that she actually gets to, you know, Shadow's identity of like Sid? But we'll see. Anyways, great video. Great video by Cheung Bros. First video I've seen from him. Please go give a channel a sub. Like the video if you did. And again, we do these reactions live, 7 a.m. PST on YouTube and Twitch. So hope to see you guys there. Bye.